We are live. Hey everybody, welcome to On Winds and Whispers. I am your host with a dead parrot. That's, man, is really, really dead. Thanks so much for being here.
Very dead parrot.
It's so dead. Thanks so much for being here. I am joined today by this amazing cast. Why don't y'all introduce yourselves? Give a quick blurb about who you are and where people can find you, and we'll start with Eris.
Oh, hi, I'm Eris Zavad. I make gaming supplies and accessories of all sorts. I also make a bit of chaos everywhere. You can find the things that I make at erisavad.com, and you can follow me on Twitter at StitchedByEris for really everything.
Yeah. Danny.
Oh, that's me. Hello, I'm Danny Gage, and I also make things. I primarily specialize in pocketed dice bags and stickers, which you can find at my Etsy on Hoop and Loom. And I also do customs, but there's a wait list right now, so wait, and eventually I'll get to you.
Yeah. B.
Hello. I am your non-binary busy B Zelda. You can find me on Twitter as @B_Zelda. I am a podcaster, streamer, game designer, writer. If there's a tabletop involved, I've probably been there.
Ian.
Hey everyone, it's Ian Gould. I'm a D&D writer and apparently layout artist is starting to creep into my repertoire. This is me under this mask, I swear. And yeah, if you like what you see here, come check us out over at Fate Forge Academy as well.
Yeah. And Prince.
Hey, I'm Prince Amir Hamza. I am known as Dimples and Dice on the internet, Twitters, Twitches, all that jazz. I'm a TTRPG streamer and variety streamer, and I'm also playing games over with a bunch of other people of color on Rolling These 20s as a Vampire the Masquerade storyteller.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, a couple things before we get started. One, you can see in the chat, we kind of have a standard for everybody that we believe in here, and that's respect. Respecting people's identities, their race, their gender, their sex, everything about them. If there's any sort of harassment, any slurs, any hate speech, especially towards race, gender, sexuality, or disability, you will get banned immediately. We don't have any tolerance for that because we respect people and who they are. The other thing is we are running this show in the world of Avastria. That is the same world that the Fate Forge Academy podcast that I also run and is surprisingly this channel, Fate Forge Academy, is in. So this story that we're going to tell, this 8-session story, is potentially going to have an impact on what happens in our podcast. It's a little bit different. We're going to give an intro in once we actually get into the story and stuff and share a little bit about the world. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun. Last thing before we start is we, as a channel, are affiliated with Greenleaf Geek. So if you go to greenleafgeek.com and use the code FateForge on checkout, you get a little discount on all the curated sets of dice. So dice by like ChessX or HD Dice, lots of beautiful things. But also Leah makes the most beautiful custom dice. Our regular FateForge cast has custom ones. You might be able to see mine on screen. They're very beautiful. This damn parrot is just so dead. We do. I think it's Greenleaf Geek.
Yep, that's right.
Geek. Is that the command?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I can do things. So
You got this.
So with that,
Killing it.
we've got a little intro video for you. Oh yeah, and she has a Kickstarter going on now for Purryhedral. So if you like cats and you like dice and you like cats in your dice, go back that. So with
I've
that,
already backed it, and it's going to be so great when I get them.
Yeah.
Me too. I got the sharp edged because I like my pointy boys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yes.
danger.
My custom set is sharp edged, and I stepped on the D4 the other day.
You
Right.
actually did.
Oh no,
How are you
Steven.
still alive?
He's alive.
Luckily-
He's just missing a foot.
I did the. I don't know if you know this technique for when you step on sharp things. Is you just crumple. You just fall over. You don't put your weight on it. So that's what I did. It was really cool.
There we go.
Really cool.
With that, we are going to take you on a little journey, and our cast will be back in about 4 minutes, so I hope you enjoy this. The Azure Dragon, what a ship. The crew Captain Valens put together is one of the finest to ever take to the skies of Avastria. But where to start? I suppose the beginning. The skies were wild and unruly, and the tensions between the nations of Lytera and Terran were high to say the least. Over generations, the Zenry Convocation of Terran has worked closely with the aristocrats of Waterdeep to keep power and wealth from spreading to the rest of Lytera, keeping the country from truly being a threat. But the people of Lytera, outside of the wealthy of Waterdeep, have grown tired, and pirates began to spring up. Some working for selfish gain, while others, such as the Azure Dragon, works to help peoples being left behind and discarded by greedy governments. It is here the Azure Dragon grew in legend, exploring the skies and waters of the Ashvale Sea, hunting down resources and hope for people. And while they hoped to help the people, what they would discover would change the world forever. It begins in an old tavern, the Wanderer, on a small island called Shira's Hope, off the northern shores of Terran. Dira Valens and her inner circle are huddled together at a booth around a worn leather map. Dira is a half-elf with deep ochre skin and long, straight black hair that she often keeps tied back with a few simple but beautiful adornments. She has strong, broad shoulders and the hands that looked as though they have spent most of their life tying knots on a ship. She carries herself with the power of a captain who has worked her way from the bottom of a crew, someone you would not want to cross swords with. Her style is simple. A red jacket with small gold buttons and trim cover her white button-down shirt. On the jacket, there's a simple, sewn-in outline of a dragon, the symbol of her ship. The same symbol is tattooed on her neck. She looks at her crew and points a beautiful knife towards the map, tracing it along. In a month, she says, the Zenry Convocation and delegates from Waterdeep are meeting in Waterdeep. Terran is sending a large fleet of ships to the city to protect the 5 of the Zenry Convocation. But Hoth here intercepted a message indicating they are sending one small airship the same day, north towards the Crescent Isles. We are going to intercept that ship. I don't know what they are planning, but this lone ship sent out under the cover of such a large fleet. I have to know what they are planning, and make sure they are unsuccessful. And perhaps grab a few Terran gifts for ourselves and our friends. Welcome to On Winds and Whispers. Okay, welcome back. So we are in the world of Avastria. If you're familiar with the Faeforge Academy podcast, the Faeforge Academy is in the far north of our world of Avastria, on a continent called the Relhand Wilds. It's hidden away. Most people in the world think that it's just a myth, that it's not even real. Our story is taking place much further south, on the borders of 2 nations called Lytera and Terran, that were mentioned in that little video. And we're going to jump right in, and you guys will all have an opportunity pretty soon to introduce your characters and everything. 3 weeks have passed since the 5 of you met with your captain, Dira Valens, and your first mate, Hearth, the Wanderer, a small inn on Shira's Hope in the Ashvale Sea. You spent the last 2 weeks in the skies, taking an obscure route in order to avoid any encounters with the Dra Zenry, the hand of the Zenry Convocation, en route to the Crescent Isles to intercept their lone airship. It's night, The air is shifting. You can smell the salt from the ocean below. The wind picks up speed, causing the Azure Dragon to list. Off to the starboard side, a flash that charges the air with electricity, followed by a boom that shakes the window. The wind accelerates, whipping around, threatening to tear the sails. The clouds expand towards you as though a growing whirlpool in the sky. A storm is coming, one which you cannot avoid. And I'm going to need all 5 of you to start by rolling initiative.
Let's get this campaign started.
All right.
Let's get it.
Ooh.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Right on brand for me.
Same.
All right,
Oh no.
do I have anyone higher than a 20?
23 for Voth.
Ooh,
Feeling good about it. 19 on the die.
awesome. 15 or higher. Awesome. Good. Great. 10 or higher. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh my god. So thanks for stopping in, everybody, to on Wednesday Whispers.
We all die. At the end.
5 to 10.
I have a 7.
We've got Arena with an 8 and Sen with a 7. Amazing.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I believe that leaves Lyra.
Yes, I'm at 4. I am 4.
Oh my God.
Amazing. So as this storm begins to expand, it's almost like there's this point that these clouds are expanding out from. I want all of you to start by making a perception check, and then we are going to start in initiative order, as some things are going to happen quickly.
That's not good.
Man, there's that 15 on the die.
There we go.
7.
20.
Okay. Ruse or Voth, what did you get for your perceptions?
15.
Okay.
Mine's a total of 23, actually.
Oh. Oh.
I have excellent perception. I just rolled really bad initiative.
Fair enough.
And I got 16.
Okay. So everyone except for your navigator, notice a few things. One, there are, and then specifically, so all of you see there are rocks hurtling through the air. Large, probably the smallest one you see is like 3 by 5 feet. These are like big boulders floating in the sky. Specifically, Arena, you notice that these rocks seem to have vegetation on them. There's like the occasional tree. There's some flowers fluttering in the wind. There's roots. It looks like it's coming from the ground, but you would know where you are in the skies and over the ocean. That shouldn't be around here. With that, Voth, it is your turn, as there are rocks hurtling towards the sky. The 5 of you are basically on the night shift, the night crew right now. There's a few other random new hires that are doing a few things on the ship, but most people on the ship are asleep, or at least were before the thunder. Voth, what are you gonna do?
So before I jump into character here, remind me: do we have any weapons mounted to the deck of the Azure Dragon, ballistae?
Yeah, you do have basically 6 cannons on either side.
Gotcha. Well, Voth harkens back to his days playing asteroids at the arcade. So, coming up from below deck, a dragonborn with blue scales.
Damn you, Jeff Bezos.
Damn you, Amazon. Mounts climbs up the ladder and takes a quick survey of the situation. Calls out, "Noisetat, we've got incoming! Man those cannons!" and is going to run towards the nearest cannon. Behind him is just a swarm of blue dragonborn babies. They are just following. They're flitting around. They're like climbing over every surface as he goes nearby, but they largely stay out of his way. They can tell he's in a mood. They can smell it on him. This is not how Voth wanted to spend his night shift. Normally he tries to relax during this time and is going to get to work loading the cannons and aiming them at these incoming.
Okay. Are you also, that sounded sort of command?
Yes.
Are you trying to inspire people around you or anything?
The NPCs.
Okay. And then why don't you share what class you're playing as well?
Oh yes, as a dragonborn pirate, he has pirate, buccaneer, privateer. He has adopted the ways of the ranger to navigate the skies. Specifically, especially as he's accompanied by all of his tiny little baby siblings, he is a swarm master, swarm keeper.
Mm-hmm. And with that, can I have you roll a persuasion as well as a straight dex check?
All right, straight dex check coming right up. So, it's a 16 on a dexterity check.
Okay.
And as for persuasion, yeah, that's not his strong suit, but it's still a 12.
Okay. So you are able to get this cannon loaded and get it ready for firing. You'll have to wait till next round to actually fire it off. The crew, this new crew, just seems to see the storm and sees you and kind of gives you this it's like, we've flown through storms, what's the big deal sort of look. Don't really even acknowledge you in spite of your seniority on the ship. Though a few, maybe 10 of your siblings fly over to one of the other cannons and together start to pick up one of the cannonballs to start to load it.
Load cannonballs cutely. Got it.
After your turn, through the door, this ocher-skinned half-elf, she is broad-shouldered, strong. She's got basically almost like a tank top. A vest on. You can see the muscles on her. She's got this long, straight black hair, a blue dragon tattoo. You know this is Captain Dear Valens, your ship's captain. She steps out, looks at this storm, looks to you, Lyra, and says, "Lyra, watch out! Crew, hoist the sails! Everyone prepare, brace yourselves!" And Ruse, it is your turn.
Do we have to do anything about this? I was rather comfortable just laying on the deck.
If you want to lose your position on the ship, then no, you don't have to do anything about that. Or if you want to die, it's your choice.
I mean, it's just boulders. I could catch them if it's that big of a deal.
Do you want to try to catch a boulder? Okay. I'm gonna need you to make a strength save.
Do it. So strong.
So, for reference to chat, laying on the deck as kind of overhead, all of these land masses are flying around, is a rather tall-ish person, long blonde hair, a variety of markings on their face, and some notable red eyes. They are kind of lounging, and when the captain comes up on deck, they kind of put themselves up on their elbow. Fine. I guess I could go do that. And they stand to their full height. Ruse is a bloodhunter monk, and a little hard to motivate. Just a little hard to motivate.
All right, so give me that strength save.
I do have a -1 in strength. Where did I put my roll 20? Oh, that's a 4.
A 4. So you are able to quickly, in your monk skills, position yourself in a spot to try to catch one of these boulders. As it slams into you, you take 13 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And are knocked prone as this boulder slams into you and then just keeps rolling and also slams into the ship, and you watch some of the wood of the ship break off as the stone keeps going. Anything else you would like to try to do on your turn?
I'm just gonna lay on the ground and sigh.
And Arena, it is your turn.
Oh gosh, already? Okay. Arena is actually currently in the crow's nest, looking through her spyglass. Captain, I don't know exactly where these rocks are coming from, but they got plants on them. And she is going to start making her way down to help set the sails properly.
As you're looking through the spyglass, you rolled a 23, right, on that perception?
Yes, sir.
You can tell deeper into this storm, there's light past it that looks more like moonlight. But there's something about this storm that is pushing out in almost this perfect circle out from a center point that you can see. The captain to you, as you say that, she says, "I don't care what's on the rocks. I care that the rocks don't hit us." And how are you? Actually, why don't you make a dex save as you're climbing down from the crow's nest, and these rocks are flying, and the ship is shaking.
That would be another 23.
Okay. Yeah. In spite of these rocks flying around and shaking the boat, the ship listing in the sky, you were able to very dexterously climb down from the crow's nest, and you were on the deck. What would you like to do?
As I'm climbing down, everyone can see that Arena appears to be a half elf, with slightly pointed ears, long brown hair, kind of pulled back, even though what isn't pulled back is kind of whipping around her head and in the turbulence of the wind. Loose clothing is also just tied to her, pretty bleached white shirt from the sun, and dark brown pants. She's actually currently barefoot because it's just easier to climb the ropes if you're barefoot. No shoes. Don't bother with them. And coming in to land on the ship as well is a large brown falcon, who just looks like a regular falcon, but he's coming to meet her. And then I'm going to essentially start rigging the sails to help counter the wind that's coming in, shouting as I go. There's definitely some disturbance over there in the center of the storm. It's light.
Why don't you, to hoist the sails, can you make an athletics check?
That's good. 16.
Okay. You are able to get one of these sails hoisted. There are still 4 more that need to be brought in. Anything else you'd like to try on your turn? I would say that was probably an action and movement.
Nope, not really. That's going to be it.
Okay. And with that, Sen, it is your turn.
Okay. Well, Sin is probably down in the kitchen, under the decks, just getting his groove on. Probably chopping up some vegetables or meat or something like that. And upon hearing this commotion, he's like, Why do people always have to get in trouble? Always. Like, I'm supposed to be the one who gets in trouble. What is it? What's happening out there?
As you look up, you see kind of through the hatch from below deck, You see the chaos starting to happen. You can see the storm. You hear the thunder. You watch as a boulder slams into Ruse and sends them. I apologize. Sends them tumbling across the deck. What do you do?
Sin will probably go up to the top, see Ruse down, and like, what were you doing?
I tried. Honestly, the captain just said do something, so...
And Sin just lifts the rock off of Ruse. It's still, like, on Ruse,
Thanks.
and it just throws it overboard.
That was kind of cool.
Okay.
I mean, no, that was awful.
Did you try to catch that?
Yeah, I catch arrows really quickly. So...
That was definitely not an arrow.
Yeah. I learned that now.
In this conversation, I'm going to need you to make a dex or a strength save.
Absolutely.
As you're just kind of hanging out. Why don't you let me know what you get for that?
Strength. That would be 20.
A 20? Okay. As you and Ruse are talking there, they're just laying on the ground. Another boulder is coming. You did strength?
Yes.
Okay. As that comes by, why don't you describe how you maneuver that boulder around the way?
I just punch it.
Just straight
up
punch it.
Sen, are you trying to make me look bad?
Amazing. And this
Unfortunately,
boulder...
you're doing a good enough job for that by yourself.
I love it. And this boulder just cracks and flies around you. Did you describe what Sen looks like?
So Sen is a satyr. Sen is short, actually. For a satyr, he's only about 5'6". Strong built though, built like a NFL running back essentially. Baggy pants, suspenders, blue shirt, rolled up sleeves to show off his muscles. He wears his hands wrapped up most of the time, just like he's ready for a fight at any given time. But most of the time he's wearing an apron like a cook, with a butcher knife on the side. Put the butcher knife down on the way up. He's brown, furry, below the upper body, but hair's sort of braided back, shaved on the side, large horns, and he has vampire teeth.
Just for fun.
Just for fun.
Anything else you want to do on your turn besides helping Ruse?
Outside of helping Ruse up, Sen is looking for like the captain. Like, so what are we supposed to be doing, Cap?
Man the cannons, hoist the sails, tie lead lines to stay safe on ship. Anything you can do to help.
Okay, I'll hoist a sail, I guess.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
That's what I'm good at. Oh yeah, that is a 24.
Okay. Similarly to Arena, you are able to get this sail hoisted up. There are 3 left that are still unfurled. And it is... Anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's it for
And
Sen for now.
Lyra, it is your turn.
With the captain telling me to, watch out, I'm like... I'm looking out as much as I can, Captain, and I'm just like panicking a little bit at the wheel of the ship, trying to make sure I don't hit any rocks.
Yep.
And I guess I'm gonna navigate.
Make a
for my
dex.
action.
Make a dex save.
Okay, my first rolls were 1 and 2, so there we go for a 3.
Okay. Those are your first.
Oh,
saves.
okay.
Got
This
it.
is Dex, right?
Yes, dex save.
Okay, so that's an 8 on the die, so 11.
11. So you are able to start kind of avoiding some of these, but 4 rocks slam into the side of the ship. And can you roll 4d10 and tell me what each one individually is.
Oh no! Okay.
Oh no, our ship.
I'm gonna sink the ship. Okay, so the first one is a 7.
Okay.
We also have a 10,
Okay.
a 4,
7,
and a 4.
10, 4, 4. Okay, so as you're trying to avoid, most of these boulders start going by. One rips through one of the sails, causing a huge gash in it. Another one, the way these airships are operated, for those of you who are listening, on the underside, where typically on a boat, oh no, I forgot what it's called. The thing that makes it move back and forth.
The rudder?
The rudder, thank you. Where the rudder is.
Also called the steering, is a technical term.
I did my research, so you know how it is. Y'all, thanks for the hype train, by the way. That is so awesome. Really appreciate it. So where the rudder would typically be on a normal ship, on airships, there are 3 large crystalline devices. The outer parts of these crystals are protective in nature, and inside of these crystals are 3 metal plates that are covered in these runes, tiny runes, lines and lines and lines in them, and that is what allows the ship to fly, essentially. So with that, another one of these rocks slams into one of these crystals. And you hear the sound of crystal and rock hitting and cracking. The other 2 slam into the ship. And so that is into the crystals. The crystals take 11 bludgeoning damage. Let me write that down.
I'm just gonna, I'm so sorry, Captain.
The ship, whoa, does not actually take as much, amazingly. 3. Only takes 13.
Could you do us a favor and fix Droopy when you get a chance?
Droopy's drooping super hard.
He's dead. What do you want from him?
We love you. We love you, Droopy.
You trying? You trying?
He's properly dead, okay?
Yeah. See? He doesn't even want to.
And should I describe Lyra real quick?
Yes, please do.
Okay, so she's a lavender tiefling with purple hair, silvery purple eyes. You see that she is a little bit sweaty right now, a bit nervous about all of the debris that's flying around, so her hair's a little bit plastered to her forehead. She has a necklace around her that has like a slightly glowing dark crystal on it, and she's just outfitted in like the normal getup, you know. She has like a green vest and white flowing sleeves. But again, she's a little bit sweaty right now, so she's not looking the greatest.
Amazing. Anything else you want to try to do on your turn? I would say that steering the ship is an action.
Yeah, I would say can I like just peer a little closer to try to find like a better path to move the ship?
Yeah. Give me. I will let you choose between investigation or perception.
Okay, I'm gonna do perception. I don't think I have good investigation. Okay, that's a 15.
Okay. You do see there seems to be the way these rocks are forming. As you look, there's a specific path headed towards this center of the storm, like deeper in. Also, would you share your class with everybody? I think everybody.
Oh, that's right. I'm a celestial warlock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't share that.
Amazing. Oh yeah.
Oh, I forgot to.
Yeah. and Arena, what class is yours? Just out of curiosity.
Arena is an arcane trickster rogue.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can see a direction to go that seems to be safe. Prince just said it.
Oh,
Yeah, pugilist.
Yeah. And you can see the ADHD strikes. Yeah,
happening
you
to the
can
ship?
see this kind of path towards this center that Arena pointed towards on her turn, and with that, the storm keeps expanding. These rocks swirl around. There are lightning starts to strike and hits the ship in 4 different places. One hits the mast, 2 hit the deck, and 1 hits the hole further below deck. And fire starts to form on the ship. And Voth, it's your turn.
Oh, Jungle Lungle. Why does this always happen on my watch? Voth is going to try to take down these rocks before they hit the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And is going to take the cannon that he's manning and try to aim it at some of these giant moss-covered, plant-covered stones that are hurtling about the Azure Dragon. Now he's got extra attack and the gunner feature, so can I fire twice?
Sure, you can fire your cannon and the one that your siblings loaded.
Yeah.
And
Oh, my sip.
and you make a dex check with proficiency
All right.
to fire the cannons.
Sounds good. I'm just going to use my regular musket. So that's a 24 for the first
Okay.
and an 18 for the second.
Okay. So why don't you describe how you fire off both of these cannons?
Voth is is seamless working with his siblings. He goes to one of the cannons, aims it from the hip, and then just fires the cannonballs. We're firing cannonballs.
Yep.
Cannonballs. Flies through the air, impacts one of these giant stones, and just shatters it into pieces.
Mm-hmm.
The second cannon, he just sort of moves over to it, spins it around. There's another rock that's hurtling towards the ship. Are there masts on this ship?
Say that one more time. Are there
Masts.
masts? Yes.
Yeah, it looks like it's about to take out one of the masts, and he just decimates the stone before it hits the mast.
Amazing. So as those kind of turn to small bits of rubble that kind of pepper the crew, everyone seems to be moving a little quicker. Dira is just ordering around groups of people. The mast that just got, or the sail that just got ripped through, is currently being hoisted as well as another one, as some of the crew is helping with that. There's one remaining. 2 other groups of crew start heading towards these fires that are on deck. And Ruse, it is your turn. What are you going to do? The mast is on fire. There's a fire below deck. It seems as though Voth has taken care of the flying debris for now. The ship is yours.
They're gonna sit up, kind of look left, look right, see where the ship was struck by lightning, really, really consider how close it was that it just missed them. All right. Oi! You garbage recruits! Now is your time to fucking do something so I can just deal with you.
Roll an intimidation or a persuasion. Your choice.
Probably intimidation.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, I'm better at persuasion.
Okay. You can persuade in an intimidating way.
Well, it's only a 5.
Can we persuade in an intimidating way?
One
I'm
of the
still
groups,
sitting on the deck, I haven't stood up or anything.
One of the groups, there's this big old minotaur in one of the groups of recruits. Looks at you and says, "Why don't you do something?" And keeps running towards the fire.
Can't you tell I'm comfortable? Ugh. And I'm gonna flop right back down on the deck and get comfy.
Oh, they're amazing. That's beautiful. Arena, it is your turn.
A very good juxtaposition. Arena is actually going to the next set of sail to go ahead and continue her help with the ship.
Okay, give me another athletics check.
Oh gosh, this one's worse. 13.
13. As you're pulling on the rigging to hoist this sail, that lightning that struck through the mast seems to have gone straight through the rigging that you're using to pull it, and it snaps, and you lose connection to the sail, and it just starts flapping in the wind.
As a rogue who's experienced with this, can I try to reach up and just grab the rope before it has a chance to get out of reach, really?
Yeah. Make a... I will let you choose athletics or acrobatics. Or actually, you know what? I will... If you want to use sleight of hand, if you have sleight of hand as a rogue, I could see you using that too.
Yes, please. I am expertise at sleight of hand. Thank you. That'll be 21.
Okay. Yeah. As it's kind of slipping out of your hands, you're able to quickly grab onto it. Though you aren't able to get the sail hoisted, you do still have hold of it. That's probably an action and a bonus action. Anything you want to say to the crew or anything like that?
Let's say I could use a little help over here.
Okay. And Sen, it's your turn.
Well, since Sen is already working on the sails, Sen will help with this situation with oh, Jesus Christ,
Arena.
Bad with the character name. Arena. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's going to you're trying to grab it and just tie it down to make sure it's in the right place?
Essentially. We're trying to hoist it.
Yeah. So Sen will just reach over, grab, just hold on. I got this.
Okay. Give me an athletics check.
Got it. Let's see, athletics. That would be 15.
Okay, yeah, you are able to just barely kind of reach in, and with the two of you together, as the rigging is kind of broken and burnt, you're still able to get that last sail hoisted. And anything else on your turn?
Since that's done, is there anything else that is outstanding on the deck that
there's two
might need help that he can move towards?
The mast is on fire. There are two spots on the deck that are on fire, and there was a lightning strike below deck as well. And you can see smoke coming from kind of down where your kitchen area is.
Oh, he's just running downstairs going, "My cabbages!"
Okay.
My cabbages!
And Mira, it is your turn. I'm going to give you a little bit more information about how these airships work before it's your turn. Given that there is some magic involved in making them fly, believe it or not, and all the sails are hoisted, the only way airships can continue moving forward is typically they use wind. In dire circumstances, they can use those crystals. Those crystals end up generating a lot of heat, and the plates in them specifically, and there's always the threat that the runes can be burnt off and affect how the ship flies in the future. So in this world, the airship technology is relatively new. So that is information for you to do with as you will, and it's your turn.
Oh, right. I'll save that for next turn. But for now, I think I'll just stay my course into that path that I saw through the boulders, the flying boulders, and I'll keep going.
Okay. Give me a dex save with advantage, as you did find that path.
Okay. That's better. 18.
18. Okay, this time you are able to kind of get your bearings, get everything. Everything came on so fast that first time, but now that you kind of have direction, you've gotten set a little bit, you are able to kind of start steering and avoiding any debris hitting the ship.
Yeah, all right. I'm just holding on real tight.
At the top of this round, I need everyone to make another dex save.
Do I have disadvantage since I'm laying on the ground?
How aware are you laying on the ground? Like, are you?
You know what? Very aware. Like, this is an intentional, like,
Yeah.
you cannot make me work kind of laying on the ground, but I'm not, like, lounging.
Yeah. So I think you're still a straight roll.
All right.
It's a 15 for Voth.
14 for me.
Okay.
20.
Nice.
I got an 11.
Okay.
18.
18.
Nice.
So, wow, I'm rolling bad, so that's good for y'all. Arena, another lightning strike goes kind of right by you and burns the back of your neck, and you take 3 lightning damage. As you do technically avoid it, I suppose, given the little that I rolled. But, Voth, it is your turn.
So, surveying the damage on the ship, does it look like there's any additional boulders incoming, or is that danger over and now damage control is our main focus?
Make a perception check.
You got it. Boff looks around, surveying the scene, gets a 22 perception. Good lord.
It seems like, excuse me, it seems like Lyra is steering the ship true and able to avoid any of these large boulders directly.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's keeping the ship from burning down.
Keeping the ship from burning down seems important. Yeah. Voth is gonna make his way over, sort of like swearing under his breath, dodging through the crowd, like some like the newer recruits who are not maybe as like maybe they're kind of like fumbling. Voth doesn't direct them; he just pushes them out of their way, just swearing under his breath. Gets to the fire and is going to work with there's like a bucket crew going at this point, and is going to with his like through his swarm of siblings is going to cast a gust of wind with the buckets of water, just like spray water over the fire.
Oh, nice. I am going to say with the use of that spell, you are able to put out one of these 2 fires successfully. As the crew watches, you notice though a bunch of the new recruits look at you. Or why don't you describe how you're casting the spell? Because we have talked a little bit about how your spells work.
Yeah, Voth. So magic in this world is a bit of an eyebrow raiser, and Voth does not draw on the weave for his spells. I say he's casting Gust of Wind, but really all of his spell-like mechanics are through his swarm of Dragonborn siblings, and if they don't like that, that's the edge of the boat right there. Because Voth is basically like he just like takes his hands, puts them up, and is speaking. He speaks in Draconic mostly, so maybe the crew gives him a side eye for that. And the siblings just sort of like swarm over, and they're cute. You know, they look like little blue sea slugs. They're very cute, and they're like covered with water as they go through the buckets, as their buckets are being tossed in the air, and they just push out the water over the fire.
I'm picturing them actually having a lot of fun, like in the way that like toddlers and kids do in the midst of like things where adults are like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. They're like everything's fine. We get to play with the water.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Little Monsters?
No.
Yes.
It's an entire film about Ngozi Lupitia playing a kindergarten teacher during a zombie apocalypse. And that's the entire movie. So her just being like, okay, kids, let's play a game called Really Quiet. Like, and she makes the whole thing into a game.
Amazing.
All right.
And
that's Voth's turn.
With that, it is Dira and the crew's turn. She is also helping with another one of these fires and putting it out. The crew, a couple of the cannons fire off. You see some of the rocks breaking, and the deck fires are out. There is still a mast fire and the fire in the kitchen. And Arena, it is your turn.
Okay, Arena sees that it looks like the fires on deck are well in hand, but definitely below deck there's some smoke. So we don't know what's going on below deck. I'm gonna go below deck and check it out. Or at least Arena doesn't know what's going on below deck.
So as you go below deck, there's a couple concerns that you would see. One, the fire is kind of in the hole, like basically the wall that you can see. You can see the fire kind of starting to break through a little bit. Part of it is in the kitchen, but right on the other side of the kitchen is where a lot of the black powder is stored. And it's essentially right there on the walls, starting to creep into both the kitchen and the black powder storeroom.
Is there anyone around me?
I will say no, because everybody's more up on. It's an all hands on deck situation, and you're the first person down below.
I did run down,
Sen, except for Sen.
Yeah,
Sen is down there.
Okay. How busy do you look? Are you kind of off doing your own thing? You're definitely absorbed in something else, right?
No, I was worried about what was going on the deck, and hopefully thinking it was not my cabbages.
Okay. Is there any water nearby?
Yes, there's a kitchen.
Okay. So
and flour.
Oh, that's also very flammable.
Yeah. Arena's gonna kind of freak out for a moment and then say, Sen, close your eyes. And she's also going to cast a spell. I don't know if Sen has seen this before or not, but Arena kind of puts her hands together and rubs them, and she just kind of opens them slightly, and water almost pulls from the air and gathers in her hands, but also around where the fire is. And the water in her hands is just a very small amount, kind of a representation of the water gathering around the fire to help put the fire out.
That's so cool.
So she essentially just starts pulling the water from the air to snuff out the fire.
What spell are you using, and how big can
Control water.
Control water. How big of a space can that take up?
It can take up, or shape water, sorry. It's a 5-foot square.
Okay. Are you going to control water on the kitchen side or the black powder side?
The black powder side.
Okay. So as you do that, the water starts to form around. That, by the way, that was a beautiful description. I really loved that. And like engulfs the flame, and you watch the flame snuff out, and it's just left with smoke on that side. Sen, I'm curious, did you close your eyes?
Did I close my eyes?
Yeah, when Arena told you to close your eyes right before she cast that spell.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely not.
No.
It's your turn.
Didn't really expect you to. But it was an emergency.
His first reaction would have been, why? Okay. So Sin doesn't have anything special like that. However, how big is the fire in the kitchen?
I'm going to pause that real quick because I can't read, and I skipped Ruse. So it's actually Ruse's turn.
I mean, it's not like they're doing anything incredibly complicated.
But from your position, you do see Dira glance over at you, doesn't say anything, but just glares at you. And you would know enough about Dira to know that she's really not the like scream and tear people down. She uses as few words as possible to lead.
Yeah.
And so when she stops using words, that's a concern. There is still a fire on the mast, and there's the smoke below deck.
Fine. I guess. Let me just stretch first. I've been laying down for quite some time. You know, I got like a bit of knot in my... Oh, you're still looking at me. Okay. I think the first thing I'm gonna do, where are all of Voth's siblings?
They are swirling kind of
everywhere.
They're kind of scattered throughout. There's probably, you have 27 siblings, correct?
That is correct.
I would say about 15 of them went with you to put out that first fire. The other ones are still kind of trying to load cannons, and they're just trying to be helpful. They don't know what else to do.
If you just reach out blindly, you'll probably grab one.
Okay. I think I'm gonna reach out and grab Killy.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look at Killy and be like, all right, I gotta do something so I look better. And I'm gonna cast Shield on Killy. And then
I appreciate that you're hiding behind a child right now. But you're also protecting the child. So
yeah. Let's mix. I'm going to hand them my water skin.
Okay.
It takes a couple of moments because like they don't really have hands.
No.
So I'm like, can you? And then I eventually just end up like wrapping some rope around Killy and the water skin on top of them.
Okay.
Is there anything about your water skin that's particularly shiny?
The cap, very shiny.
Oh yeah, Killy's all
very
over that.
shiny.
All over. You got Killy's full attention.
Perfect. I mean, we bonded before. It's fine.
Exactly.
All right, Killy. I'm gonna throw you up there at the top of the mast. I just need you to like dump some of the water down. You think you can manage that? I'll give you the cap to my bottle after. Yeah.
And Killy takes off flying. And as Killy gets to the top, they rip off the top of this thing. And Voth, do your siblings have clothes, or are they like?
No.
No. Okay.
No, they're just naked children swimming all over a pirate ship. What is that? Is this weird?
Classic.
As it should be. And rips it off, and then just like kind of drops the water skin. It bounces, it hits the mast, and does spill out, and seems to at least for the most part put out the fire. And
Killy, dang.
Only because that was such a beautiful idea.
The water skin was very full, and like I gave Killy a boost with my mage hand. Like I'll use my full action for that. It's a little heavy.
Are you discreet on any of these spell casting things that you do?
No.
Okay. So you watch as Captain Dira looks at you, like that first look was like do something, and then the second one was like, oh no, not like that. As you see some of these new recruits like just stop what they're doing and stare at you. And Sen, it is now your turn.
Oh my god. Following that up. So yeah, the question I had was how big is the fire? Is it like it's engulfing a place, or like the size of a campfire?
It seems like it's starting to spread and could grow out of control quickly. Though it's probably in between those two ideas. It's like a moving campfire that's leaving a little trail.
The reason I asked is because with prestidigitation, you can snuff out a small campfire.
This is probably more of a medium campfire, but I would say you could start it at least.
Oh, okay. So, Sin looks over at Arena and like goes over to the kitchen and just snaps and like puts out the fire. He's like, I can do it too. It's not that special.
So there's still a little bit of fire remaining in the kitchen. It's not entirely put out, though it has greatly decreased in size and specifically threat. Is there anything?
Then
else
he's grabbing a bucket on top of that.
Okay. Okay. Why don't you, just to see if you can do that quick enough to get it out this turn? Why don't you make another athletics check?
18.
You're able to kind of splash some of your. I imagine it's like dishwashing water or something like that in the bucket that you just dump on the rest of it.
It's probably some like mop bucket kind of stuff.
Yeah,
no one wants it.
It smells real bad, but nothing's on fire anymore. Lyra, as you continue on your turn, there's a strange nature about what's happening. And you watch behind, like as you look behind, the storm is closing in around you, almost as though it's drawing you closer to the center of whatever this is.
Ooh, just like a wave of ominous feeling goes over me, and I'll clasp the crystal around my neck and say, "Oh, watch it protect us." And I'm going to cast guidance on myself.
Okay.
And it grows a little cold in my hand as I do so. This is done a little more subtly, so it's not quite out there.
Why don't you give me a stealth check just
okay. That
just to
sounds
see.
fun. That's a natural 15, and my stealth is 3, so 18.
Okay. Yeah, I really feel like what I'm picturing is that Lyra has like progressively like gained some calm, and you feel that presence of the Watcher, whoever that is, the Silent Watcher, around you. Just this calm. And why don't you give me one more dex save?
All right. With that confidence, we go forth, and I rolled a 19 naturally, plus my dex is 3, so 22.
Okay, yeah, you are able to continue to navigate, avoiding things. Your use of the crystals has to be used a little bit, given the sails are all down, but you're able to do it in such a careful way. As you continue to approach, there's a bubble essentially that is emanating the light from this storm, and you break through, and you're essentially in the eye of the storm. But as opposed to like a hurricane eye where it swirls and you can see like all the way to space, you're in a spherical eye. So the storm is above you, it's below you, it's behind you, it's in front of you, it's to the left and right, but in the center is this island. This island that has been, it appears to have been pulled by the ground as if some great creature like ripped this rock from the surface. On the underside of the island, it's jagged. There's dirt held by enormous vines. The surface, however, is covered by this very tropical forest covered in mist. It's dense. It's beautiful, it's wild. Breaking through some of the trees are these strange ruins in an architecture style you've never seen before. They're unfamiliar, but curious and beckoning. And the storm swirls viciously, continually outside your ship, lightning still crashing, but you are in calm. As the navigator of the ship, Captain Valens looks at you, says, "My God, I've not seen anything like this."
Shall I bring the ship around so we can take a breather?
I think we must. We're going to have some repairs to make. But be on your guard.
All right.
And as you set the ship down, we are going to go to break. So, chat, thank you so much for being here so far. I hope you're enjoying this little adventure. We will be back at 45. And the hour is whatever your time zone is. If you want to continue to support the stream, being here is huge. If you want to tweet about it, share with your social media what a great time you're having with these crazy pirates and dead parrots. I buried him. It's very uncomfortable for him to be sticking out of my shoulder like a bone. Yeah, we appreciate y'all. F for parrot. Yeah, give Polly an F for parrot in the chat. And we will see y'all in 10 minutes.
We need the
Hey everybody, we are back. Fairbear, I'm glad the music is getting you so pumped. That music was actually custom made for our show by Dave Cole of the Four Orbs podcast. If you go to D Cole Music on YouTube, he has lots of free to use stuff as long as you attribute him. It's great fantasy music, great for streams, for podcasts, all that stuff. Plus he's an awesome dude. So I'm glad you like it. We are about to jump back in. Before we do, just a friendly reminder, we don't tolerate any form of harassment at all, but particularly target at someone's identities, be that racial, gender, sex, religion, any of those things. You will be escorted from this corner of the internet if you do that. With that, let's jump back to the world of Avastria and the Azure Dragon. And Gnome, thank you so much for the gift sub. You're the best. So our crew lost our music. We can't have that. There we go. So our crew has just, Steven's screwing everything up, and we're back real. Okay. So our crew just navigated this strange storm, it was not natural. There were floating pieces of debris flying through. Lightning struck the ship. There is some damage that has been, excuse me. Some damage that has been done to the ship. We learned a little bit about our characters. Ruse tried to catch a boulder unsuccessful, which was fun. Quite possibly my favorite part.
It felt right, you know.
But as they navigated this storm, it seemed like something was pulling them to the center. And in the center of this storm is this strange, it's almost like the eye of a storm, but it's spherical. Surrounding them on all sides, this storm continues. Debris floats around. Lightning is striking and thunder is going. In the center, though, is this floating island. The bottom is jagged, filled with vines and everything holding it together, as though some enormous creature pulled it from the ground. On this island is dense forest. Probably jungle is probably a better descriptor. Very tropical in nature. There's dense fog everywhere. The clouds, while it is calm, there is like clouds and mist kind of swirling around this whole island. Captain Dira ordered Lyra to take the ship down and land. She to you regular crew, along with Hearth, the first mate, who you are all familiar with. She says, I need the six of you to check out the surrounding landscape. I will take care of the crew, and I will start on getting repairs done and making sure everyone is in order and everything's safe. But if you would patrol the surrounding area, find out where we are, see if there's any resources that we can use to repair our ship, I would ask that you do that. Hearth, the first mate who you are all familiar with, is odd. He's quirky. He likes to play the occasional, like, almost like, I would describe it as like a dad joke. So they're not like good pranks. They're just kind of weird, especially given that he's not any of your fathers. He has this long silvery hair. Actually, it's very similar to Ruse's.
Okay, but mine's prettier.
Yours is definitely prettier. His is not super well kept. So it's like it's starting to dread, but not on purpose. He's got a kind of a typical pirate getup. The thing that's interesting about him is his eyes are completely silver, and he just kind of gazes off into the distance every once in a while. You all would be familiar with individuals that are like him. In our world, he's what's called a dreamer. So there are these people that have this connection to memories and history of the world that they typically don't understand. The thing that they all have in common is silver hair and silver eyes. And as the captain walks away, he just starts to sing this strange song in this kind of ominous voice. It's haunting, and he's looking out towards the center of this island. It tells of this woman who gave herself to hold back a great evil, that she would sacrifice herself with the promise that she would always be able to be with her loves. But then something happened that no one expected, and her shrine was lifted into the sky and lost to time. And it ends, and then he just starts repeating this phrase as his eyes glow a little bit. It says, "Wipe away Shiro's tear. Don't take her sorrow, leave it here. Don't take her sorrow, leave it here." And just repeats that, and then walks off the ship like nothing happened, and starts going into the forest. Gets down the plank, looks up at you all, and says, "So are you coming?"
I'm gonna trip you next time you do that. Yeah, let's go.
Somewhat in context, but out of context, Stephen. How long has this person been on the ship?
Longer than any of you.
Then Sin would be quite familiar. Quite familiar. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This behavior from Hearth is not unusual for us. We've seen him kind of like recite bits of prophecy before.
Yeah, and they're not.
Time consuming.
It's just odd, and he oftentimes doesn't even realize he's done it, which is kind of what he indicates to you. It's just like, why? Captain gave us orders. Are you all coming or what?
Chongo Longo, you've been talking to yourself again.
You were rambling.
No, I wasn't.
Sin jumps out. Dump.
Dreamer,
Don't
you
let them
can't help
bother
it.
you.
It's just what comes out of your voice sometimes.
Sorry, what did you say? What did you say, Sen?
Don't let them bother you. It's you expressing your true self.
Sure. We have a job to do, though.
Yes.
And
Let us, please.
Yeah, right. Let's go. I saw some sort of temple that looked pretty interesting.
which direction was that?
I think it was about that way.
Very well. Do you want to lead the way then?
Well, I can certainly try.
And as you all kind of walk off this ship, is there anything actually you would want to do before you leave the ship?
Well, I'm gonna grab my equipment. I was not equipped on the ship properly. Also, Perry, do you want to come with us, or do you want to fly around? Talking to the falcon, the large brown falcon sitting on the side of the banister on the ship. He kind of landed earlier when everything got rough and took cover.
Yeah. Perry looks at you, does the bird tilt, and flies down and lands on your shoulder, kind of indicating that they're gonna go with you.
Alrighty. Well, let's go.
Okay. As you all kind of step into this pretty dense forest, I would like you all to make either a perception or a survival, and let me know which one of those you make.
Voth gets a 3 on survival. Does not
I'm
like
gonna do
leaving the boat.
survival.
Voth is trying
Oh no.
Voth is dealing with his siblings.
Yeah, you're like, what's everyone doing when they leave the boat? I'm like, well, Voth takes half an hour to round up the kids. That's what everyone's like, let's go.
I got a nat 20 on perception for a 28.
Goodness.
Okay.
I got a nat
15.
1 on survival for 6.
Yeah, that was my nat 1.
15 on survival.
I'm glad
Or,
Lyra's leading the way.
I got a 19 on survival, so not
Okay.
bad as well.
I feel like Ruse and Sen are watching Lyra start leading the way, and they're just like,
Nope.
Good enough. This is
The
the
turn.
Yeah.
just like pushes her shoulders gently. Arena, you notice a couple things. The first that you notice is there are some broken branches that are not broken as though like creatures did that. They look more like some sort of sentient human path, kind of deeper into the forest. Generally in the same direction towards these ruins that you saw, though not exactly. The other thing you see, just kind of buried in the ground, covered by some dirt, is you see a small token. It is a symbol you would be familiar with. That is just a closed fist. You would recognize that as an identifier of the Drazenry, which is the hand of Terran. This group, for those of you who are watching, a little bit of background. Terran and Lytera, these two countries in the south, and Terran has a group of basically secret agents, shadow agents, called the Drazenry. Whoa! All our cameras just shifted.
We lost me.
No.
I'm sure they'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll leave everything for now. And as soon as they are back, we will fix that. So, and this group, the Drazenry, they work to infiltrate other countries, specifically Lytera, and to keep countries destabilized so that Terran maintains power. That means taking resources, messing with any sort of uprising, strengthening the government, because in Lytera, in our world, Waterdeep is centered in this country, and all of the wealth and power of that country is centered on Waterdeep, and the aristocrats and wealthy maintaining a grip on power and resources throughout the country. And so they keep that country destabilized and the power in the wealthy for the sake of their own country. So that's the symbol that you see there. Let me see. I'm going to send another link to B real quick.
Yep.
Oh,
Ah,
they're back.
There they are.
Let's just...
Are we all in the wrong
shift
order
it.
now?
We are all in the wrong order. So this is going to be that behind-the-scenes stuff that's super fun. We're just going to drag people around.
Yep.
On screen, B goes there. Eris goes there.
I'm being dragged.
Roth goes there. It's like a puzzle.
This is fun.
Goes there. It is
Over
not.
now.
It is not a D&D stream if something doesn't happen like that.
Right?
Yep.
Right?
Photos for real now.
So
The game was going far too smoothly
Yeah,
for
so-
us.
so
we
we're
had to have
officially-
something go wrong.
we're officially an actual play show.
Yeah.
Now.
That's right. That's right.
So you miss some of that B, but essentially Arena just found a token of the Drazenry, which is the same symbol of this ship that y'all would have been initially chasing,
Okay.
kind of buried in the ground. So with those checks, what do y'all do?
I will go over and grab that coin off the ground and say, looks like we have some Drazenry over here. At least it looks like they might have gone this way.
Remind me, was there a bounty on their heads?
Is that me? Are you asking me, or are you asking the crew?
A little bit of both. The crew and the GM and the mate, the first mate.
Well, it depends on who you ask, to be honest. But I think we have.
I'm going to send you a message.
Okay. Interesting. Kind of my deciding factor on whether or not I care about following them.
If nothing else, they might prove to be difficult for us.
I don't think anything's difficult for us.
Well, we should at least be warned that
Except
other
maybe
people
catching
are here.
rocks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I sent you a message in Discord.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think we should chase them. Might be worth our while.
Either way, we should be on our guard.
Why are we not?
Yeah.
Just like extra, I'm saying. It's strange island, dangerous people.
You're the one who blanks out at times. You can't even speak.
I'd like to think that we are the most dangerous people on this island.
For once, I'm going to agree with Sen. You don't often say good things.
I certainly hope so. Shall we continue?
Okay.
Yeah.
So with the survival check that Ruse and Sen both got, they are able to help Lyra with this path with this path that Arena found. As Voth, are your siblings coming?
I can't stop them.
Beautiful.
Nor does he try.
Yeah.
He's mostly like getting them, like making sure, like, you know, somehow Killy got himself trapped inside of like a discarded water skin. So Voth is like,
Weird.
Sen is just
So
reaching in
weird.
his pack, giving them little bits of food and stuff out of his hand. Just like, come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like there's probably always like 4 or 5 with you, rotating.
was probably more than that.
Yeah.
A rotating cast of them.
Okay. So as
mhm.
you follow this very, very subtle path kind of deeper into the forest, there's almost like patches of rain that fall. Not in a way that would normally, like, it's not covering this whole island. It's literally like 4 or 5 feet of rain, just in almost like a pillar, falling in spots. Very, very odd. You travel in for about an hour or so, kind of weaving through. There's the sound of birds, of wildlife. You don't notice the sound of any other what sounds like people, but you come to this small little clearing, and there are 2 bodies laying lifeless. One propped up against a tree and one face down, kind of in the center of this small little clearing.
I would like to check their pockets.
Okay.
And I'd like to look around and see if anyone's watching the clearing.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So why don't
Bee blowers into a trap.
I will say y'all can either both, Arena and Lyra, you can both roll, or one of you can help the other roll a investigation check. And Ruse, while you are searching, they're pretty stripped down, especially as far as like weapons or equipment go.
Okay.
You do find each of them has the same small paper, and it has the same line that that Hearth was just quoting not an hour or 2 ago. Wipe away Shira's tear. Don't take her sorrow, leave it here. Don't take her sorrow, leave it here. But in addition, there is a small drawing on each of a female figure clutching something at her chest, head tilted, and it looks like water falling off of her like hair and her body. I will also let you make a medicine check.
I was just about to ask about that. Can I
Okay.
check the wounds?
Send, you absolutely
Go
can
for
make-
it.
It's not a strength of mine, but I'm just like, well, something killed them, so
We got a combined 21 investigation check to see if there's anyone watching.
You do not see anyone watching. It seems
I got a
like
5.
you got a 5. I will give you one thing, given your background and who you are. There are between 3 and 6 puncture wounds on each of them. And you would recognize something that does not have any blood.
Are these puncture wounds? Are they located in a particular part of the body?
You can make a medicine check as well, Voth. That was just that one thing that you notice.
Accentuated, indeed.
Mm-hmm. Well, Voth comes over the body, picks up their wrists, gets a 6 on medicine, drops it to the ground, and says, "These folks are dead."
I'm sorry, is that all the information you can provide? I know you only have one eye, but
They're
do
fresh.
better.
They're fresh. And then turns to Sen and like, I'm not sure where Voth and Sen sit on the whole like, this is meat section, but Voth knows that Sen prepares the food.
No. No.
That's a direction I did not expect to take today.
No!
I hope you all are ready for these adorable toddlers to just like skeletonize these people.
The babies!
I guess they are baby dragons.
I look at them very differently all of a sudden.
I look at them very differently all of a sudden.
Feeding children is a lot of work.
They're just turned to piranhas.
They're very picky. They're very picky, you know.
Are they?
They're all kind of hovering.
They really are.
Waiting. Does anyone else want to do anything with them? Before
With the bodies?
Before Voth hangs back for a minute as the scene moves forward.
So I would say that Sin would sort of back up to Arena and be like, so that's not natural what happened to them.
No, but at least it doesn't look like it was necessarily a trap. No one seems to be watching us at the moment.
Yeah, well, when the kind of things do what they do to these bodies, they may be very difficult to be seen. Very difficult.
What happened? And I guess I'll go ahead and see if I can look at the bodies. And now you said do what these things did to the bodies. Now I want to see what happened to the bodies.
He said exsanguinated. He did say that they've been like.
Oh, okay.
No blood.
You are welcome to make a medicine check or a nature check.
Oh gosh. Am I even really very good at either of these? Fair. Okay. I've apparently had a little bit of training on the ship. 2 for either. Sorry, 19 for either.
Oh.
Plus 2 for
Oh.
either.
I was like,
You said that so casually.
That's a total of 19.
You are able to kind of, as you're looking through, they appear to be these strange bite marks, and around each of the bite marks they're a little bit raised, and they sort of remind you like really, really big mosquito bites.
Usually you only see those when you directly over swamps or something. Yeah, whatever killed them, bit them. Mosquitoes?
Really big ones?
I highly doubt that.
Can I roll like a history?
Sure. The history of what?
Of giant bite marks.
Yes.
History of ways to kill people?
Yeah. I have advantage on history.
The Assassin's Guide of How to Kill People. What do I remember?
So 14?
You... I'm trying to think of a way to explain this through history. So combined with the observation of these things looking like mosquito bites, you have heard in some of the more tropical regions of of specifically people who farm or live in like kind of more rural areas, having to deal with mosquitoes that essentially eat their livestock.
So, Sen, you were over there laughing about giant mosquitoes? Bet you never heard of the giant mosquitoes that eat cows.
That's frankly terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Pretty easy to punch, though. You know? One good squish.
You should try to catch one as it comes at you.
Mm-hmm. Moving on.
Well, do you think these people are from the Hand of Terran? Or,
yeah,
they got on their way?
Paper was kind of like, hey, second mate. First mate, I forgot your name. You're so forgettable.
I am your first mate. I am your commanding officer. I'll have you know.
Are you?
Yes.
It's her. Does it actually look like there were other people here with them, or these are are there other like footsteps leading on past where they are, or?
I think carrying on your earlier check, you can still see that it looks like whatever happened either continued or there's still further path to follow. Yes.
Okay. Well, whatever happened, they left these two people here and continued on.
Well, they obviously couldn't continue on.
Well, the people that they were with continued on. Someone did.
Anyways, Ruse, you were about to say something?
Oh yeah, and they're gonna like smush the paper into his chest. What does this mean?
He starts reading it. Looks at it. I don't know. I have like kind of a fuzzy memory of that woman. I don't know where I've seen it before though.
You want me to hit you in the head?
Absolutely not. I do not want you to do that. No, thank you, please. And no.
It's an option.
I think it's not.
That does not jog memories. I can tell you that with experience.
Okay, well, it's on the table. You want to just keep staring at that while we walk? Sen, let's keep following the road.
Okay. So as you continue on this path, I'm going to need an order that you are walking in.
Well, I definitely don't feel like I should be in the front anymore after that navigation job earlier.
Are we rolling again for those things? That's the question.
You don't need to roll.
I think Arena starts to take point here, realizing that she's the one noticing the most so far.
Just look back, like keep an eye on the back of the group.
It's okay, Lyra.
This actually probably reminds me
everything all the time.
Yeah.
Voth will also stick towards the back of the group.
Okay, so Arena in the front, Voth and Lyra, and the 27 babies in the back. I guess the babies probably just kind of hover between whoever their individual favorites are.
Yeah, the babies are throughout.
Okay.
I mean, right now they're conspicuously absent as we moved away from those bodies, but they'll be back soon.
I look back, give them thumbs up.
Be a little bit more tired when they come back. A little sleepy.
They got the itis.
You know how there's a lot of tryptophan in dead bodies.
My God.
And then Sen and Ruse, are you right behind, sticking more towards the front or more towards the back?
Sen's probably more towards the back.
Okay. I think I'll be more towards the front, but I'm walking backwards, and I'm describing to you how I could, in fact, if I wanted to, punch a boulder and not get knocked over by one. And I'm very...
I believe
and
you.
just,
Definitely.
when you make a fist, and then, the boulder comes at you, and then if I just kind of, had the right position and, my footing was okay, then I think I definitely could have got it.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Clearly.
Thank you. I feel better about
Clearly.
this.
What's your
Sarcasm.
passive perception, Ruse?
It's 12.
Tripping over backwards.
So Actually, no. You feel something in your hair. And Sen, you watch as Hearth just like is sticking a branch in the back of Bruce's head. Just like a small one. It's his vengeance.
Sen's just like,
We've learned that Hearth is very petty.
Not even any trees around here.
There's lots of trees around here. Arena, in the lead, I'm going to need you to make a perception check.
Okay. Oh, gosh. That was good. That was real good. You know why? Because it was still a 14.
A 14.
All right.
Okay. Okay. So you continue onward. And as you continue, there is a rush of buzzing sounds. And I'm going to need you all to roll initiative.
Oh no!
fantastic.
Oh. Got double digits, y'all.
Right?
Which is...
Voth got significantly worse this
Buzzing.
time.
Okay. Do we have anyone that is above a 20? Cool. 15 or higher.
I'm at a 20.
Okay. Need to check one thing real quick. Okay. And you said 18, Arena?
Yes.
Okay. So, 10 to 15?
13. Much better than 4.
That leaves Ruse and Voth. What do y'all have?
9.
Also a 9.
Ooh.
Okay.
What's your dex?
Voth will go last.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have a feeling you're not going to beat the monk. So as you are walking, it's a fairly dense jungle, though there is maneuverability between the trees. There's probably about 3 to 5 feet of space between every tree. This loud buzzing comes from above, and as it comes, I am going to need to know the AC of Voth. Actually, of all 5 of you. So the first 2 of these giant mosquitoes, they've got this huge bulbous, is thorax the back of an insect? I think it is.
Yeah.
They're about the size of a Labrador. As they
There
come
it is.
flying down from above, from these trees. 2 of them go to you, Arena, and that is a math.
AC's 15.
Okay, those both hit.
Okay.
As both of these like land on you and bite into you, and you can feel them like almost like dig in their teeth as they're attached, one on your shoulder and like one through your clothing into your side, and they latch onto you, and you take 16 piercing damage as they stick onto you. Lyra, another one flies down to you.
15 is my AC.
Okay, it hits as well.
Woohoo!
And similarly, though, this one only does 3 piercing damage, but you also feel it latch in kind of right on the back of your neck. And these 6 legs kind of stand on you.
No.
Sen, a 14. Does that hit your AC?
No.
Okay, so one starts to fly down, and you're able to kind of slap it off. Voth, a 21.
I'll allow it.
That is 8 piercing damage as another one latches onto you. And finally, Ruse, a natural 20.
Oh, uh-huh.
As, although, it could have been much worse for you, as you take 12 piercing damage as this one kind of latches onto your thigh. And they are all like attached to you, except for the one that's flying around Sen. And then one latches onto Hearth. Just kidding. It does not. Mrs. Hearth, who bravely dives to the ground and covers his head. And it is Sen, your turn. Uses Benadryl. It's super effective.
So Hearth just dived to the ground, right?
Yeah. Bravely dived to the ground. And covered his head. Probably screeched.
Excellent. Then, is there anything within reach of Sen? Like, can he reach out and punch something?
Yeah, the mosquito that just flew by and tried to bite into you is right next to you.
Excellent. Then that's what Sen is going to do. It's going to run up, take a couple of punches at something.
Okay.
Big old mosquito. That is 19 plus 6. I assume that hit.
20 plus 6 does hit. Oh, a friend.
So that's 23. There we go. Oh. For 4 damage.
Okay. As you smack into this first mosquito, it's surprisingly tough.
Okay. All right, I'll punch it again.
Okay.
And that's going to be a 25.
That will also hit.
That'll be another 6 damage.
Okay.
And then as a bonus action, fuck it, and keep punching.
Keep on punching.
Kitty.
This is very much like a monk sort of thing happening. He's just
Yeah.
and I will actually, I'm gonna do that. I'm going to spend my Moxie die. I'm gonna take a few more punches.
Love that Moxie.
Oh, that's gonna miss. That was 11.
That does miss.
What about a 13?
That does hit.
Excellent. And that's going to be another 9 damage.
Okay.
I got one more swing.
Dang.
Yeah,
Boxers.
because I use a Moxie die. So that is 20 something.
That hits.
20. And then another 4 damage.
Okay. So as you kind of smack into it, the first couple that you land, it seems like its hide's tough, and then you start to break through, and you hear that like bug squishing sound. It's still flying, but you feel like you're making some headway. That's that. Anything else on your turn?
That's everything that I can do.
Okay, Arena, you have 2 of these creatures latched onto you.
I assume that I probably can't attack them very well with my my rapier or my short sword.
You can certainly try to. They're not really moving. They're eating.
I mean, sure. I guess it's more. Are they on a part of my body that I feel like I could attack, or do I feel like it would be easier for me to get one that's not on me?
It would probably be. Ooh, that's actually a good question. It's like you have 2 Labradors on you, so I don't think like swinging your sword is going to be easy, no matter what you do.
Okay. Well then, I will attack one of them with my rapier.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'm gonna turn and see who's behind me. It was
Hearth was directly behind you, is on the ground, and then Ruse was next, in front of Sen.
Okay. Is there one engaged with either of them? No.
Yeah, so all of your as you turn and look, Lyra, Ruse, and Voth all have a mosquito also attached to them. Sen, however, is beating up on one
Perfect.
in his boxer stance.
I'll say, Ruse, I've got your back. And I will start attacking the one on Ruse's back with my rapier and my short sword, both out.
Okay. Okay, roll your attacks.
First one. Oh, that probably doesn't do very well. That's a 9 to hit.
That does not do great, no.
Ooh.
Okay. And
You're kind of thrown off balance. You're trying to get your bearings.
Yeah. It hurts. And a natural 1 for my offhand sword attack.
You know what?
Thanks.
We never discussed this. I typically don't do like critical fail stuff. I will if y'all want to, or I'll probably just leave that in your hands. As far as like dropping weapons and stuff like that, I will not impose that on you as your DM.
Okay, so for that, I will say, I just to narrate this well, Arena kind of goes around the mass of first mate on the floor and goes over to Ruse and starts trying to swing, but you know the one on her right side is she just can't lift her arm well enough, and then the one on the left side kind of bites a little bit, and like she just feels the blood kind of drain for a moment because she's only like 4.5 feet tall. She's not very tall. She kind of feels the blood drain for a moment, and she actually does drop her short sword from her left hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would, I believe, still have your second main hand attack.
No, I only have one.
Okay.
I have the one attack and then
the
my
bonus
bonus action offhand.
Okay, that's right.
Yep.
So
That's it.
with that, it is the Skeeto's turn as they surprised you initially. So all of you who have one or two latched to you, you feel them like it's just sucking the blood out of you. And you all, I believe, yep. You all, I'm just going to do this quickly. So you all just lose an additional 4 HP.
Okay.
Nope. Okay.
As it just sucks from you. The one that's flying around you, Sen, again tries to latch onto you. And roll the natural 1. And so it just flies.
That's not gonna do it.
It's still hovering around your head. But it's like I'm gonna say like you broke its wing, and so it's like flying a little wonky, and it can't quite get the right trajectory. And it is Lyra's turn.
All right. I'm going to I'll like reach back in like a little bit of shadow like encases my hand, and I'm going to try to like throw like a sacred flame at the one on my back. So
Okay.
It needs to make a dex save of 18.
Normally I wouldn't do this, but because it's latched to your back, I'm gonna need you to make a dex save as well.
Ooh, no! Oh no, it's a natural 1.
Anyhow.
I'm gonna die.
What was the DC?
18.
It does not pass either. So roll your damage, and I will say you take half. Of what you
Okay.
roll.
Okay. So it's 2d8. It's an 8 and a 4, so 12 points of radiant damage, and I'm going to add another 5 to that creature because I can add with my radiant soul plus 5 damage to one target.
Okay. So
okay.
8 plus 5.
8 plus 4 plus 5, so
plus 4
12
plus
plus
5.
5, 17 points of radiant damage.
Okay. Okay. You hear it singe, but it does not let go. And anything else on your turn?
That's gonna be it. That's my action. I don't have any bonus actions.
Okay, Ruse, it is your turn.
All right, I am going to. So I think like directly in front of me. Who do I have?
You were walking backwards, and so directly in front of you is Sen, who is kind of fighting and actually handling this mosquito. You have one that's bitten. I believe yours was in the back of your neck, attached to you.
Okay. Just to prove Sen that I'm better than him, I'm going to shoot the mosquito that is fighting him with my longbow, which is my Kensai weapon.
Okay.
That's 12 to hit.
That just hits.
Okay, roll damage. Do I add to that? 5 plus 2, 7 damage.
Okay, and that's the one that Sen is fighting?
Yep.
Okay. It is just barely hanging on as your arrow like slams into it.
And then with my Fury of Blows, I am going to punch the one on my neck.
Amazing. Go for it.
Oh, it's a 9 to hit.
That misses.
Okay, it's hard to punch behind your neck, you know?
It is.
I really do try to look cool, especially after like loosing my bow, and then like I kind of like holster it, and I'm just it doesn't look very impressive.
But your body language is still impressive. It's all about confidence,
right?
Since like,
do you have 2 attacks as a monk? I believe before you use your flurry of blows. I believe monks do. Oh, but you're only 3 levels of monk, huh?
Yeah.
That is probably why.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, Voth, it is your turn.
All right. So there's one of these things in the back of his neck. Arena has 2 on her, and there's 1 on Hearth and 1 on Ruse. Is that right?
There's 1 on you.
And 1 on one on Voth. Yeah.
Hearth does not have 1 because he's brave.
Hearth is very brave.
Yeah,
he's a brave boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The one that Sen and Ruse have been fighting is very much struggling to even stay flying.
Yeah. Voth looks at the one that they're fighting, and he says, they can take care of that dark rat, and then yells it to Arena, like, Arena, duck down, and is going to, from under his cloak, pull out a musket, because there are firearms in this world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And he's going to take it out, like, twirl it, trick shot it, is going to shoot one right off of Arena's back.
I love the confidence. Roll for that.
Oh, you have no idea. Oh, we're gonna sharpshooter. I'm taking -10 on this roll.
oh,
17.
That does hit.
Yes. All right. Let's see here. That's gonna be 24 points of. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, it was an 18. Sorry, I'm mixing my rolls. It was an 18 for 17 points of damage.
Okay. So it shoots through kind of one of these creatures, though it doesn't let go. It's almost like the momentum pulls its legs off, and it immediately grasps back on.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw Swarm and Favored Foe on this creature, so it takes another 8 points of piercing on top of that. So that's gonna be 25 altogether.
Okay. It is still hanging on as this horde of tiny little stuffed full of dead other
They're
pirates.
not even eating at this point. They're just kind of like picking at their food. Like, they're not hungry anymore.
Yeah. Swarms you, Arena. Anything else for your turn, Voth?
I'm going to go ahead and do loyalty to the dice. I did roll a second sharpshooter roll, so I'm going to go ahead and take it.
Okay.
It was a nat 1.
Okay.
-10 on that becomes a straight 0.
Yeah, and black powder weapons, bad things usually happen.
All right.
I'm going to deal with that in a second. Yeah, it misfires, but I'm going to find that document in a second, unless you already have it, or I'll let you look it up.
Yeah, we can go ahead and say that takes an action to clear the weapon as it misfires.
Yeah, we'll do that for now.
Sounds good. So the first shot, very impressive. He's like, Arena, duck! And just blows away at this creature, not killing it. The little toddlers all coming in and trying to pick apart at it. And the second is just a nice fat.
Beautiful. And with that, it is the top of the round. Sen, it is your turn. You still have one hovering around you. There's a whole swarm of things going on around Arena. All your friends still have something attached to them. I forgot to have Hearth go. Hearth actually rolls over on his back, pulls out 2 flintlock pistols, and fires both of them at the mosquito that is in front of him on the back of Ruse's back. For a 2 and a 10, as these shots just ring out and go flying.
Watch where you're shooting.
You feel one go like right by your ear. And now it is Sen's turn.
Stay down and say a lot, you idiot.
I have a lot of skills. I'm very important.
Poor Hearth.
Yeah, I'm gonna just keep on punching till this thing dies. So 20.
That hits it.
All right. Oh, Jesus Christ! I keep losing my dice. There we are. Huzzah. That is another 8 damage.
You smash through the face of this one, like into its guts, and it almost pops and falls to the ground. Your hand covered in insect goo. And
that one was luck.
You've got like 1,000 attacks left. So
yep, I just run out behind Ruse, and I'm just like, let me take care of this for you. Okay. Another punch. That's gonna be 18.
That hits.
That's gonna be another 7 damage.
Okay.
And I get bonus action. Do I want to just take 1 attack, or do I want to take? Yeah, we'll just take 1. 16.
Also hits.
And another 9 damage.
Okay. I can math. That is that number. Anything else on your turn?
That is all. I'm not gonna move anywhere else. I'm just like, don't worry, I got this.
As Sen,
find something else to shoot.
So as Sen uses this like quick boxer feat, and his fists are flying, you feel that impact behind you, Ruse. And Arena, it is your turn as you're surrounded by 27 little tiny dragonborns. 2 mosquitoes are attached onto you. There's all sorts of stuff
So I have a
going on.
question.
Okay.
I don't know if you answered it in Discord. I don't think you did. What kind of damage have these been doing?
These are doing piercing damage.
Okay, just checking. All right. Arena is really hurt. Everyone around can see the blood is definitely draining from her face. She is not doing well. And she just kind of her hands kind of fall to her sides, and she takes a deep breath, and it almost feels like it almost looks like time stops around her for the briefest moment, as almost knives built of light explode from her. And everyone within 5 feet must make a dex save as she casts Sword Burst.
Okay.
20.
DC 13.
Was that all of us?
No, it will actually, I believe it will just be Hearth and the creatures on her.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Oh no, not Hearth. That's what we're supposed to say, right?
Sin actually would say that genuinely, like, damn it, Hearth. No. Sin needs Hearth a lot.
Did you say Dex?
Dex, yes. And if they're attached to her, can they save from this?
If it's coming out from you,
I will say that no, they can't. But Hearth does save. Hearth rolled a natural 20.
Yay.
He's
Perfect.
so brave.
They take 8 force damage.
Awesome.
Nice.
Okay. So the one that was previously shot by Voth, as these swords burst through it, it almost just like splatters against a tree, and is gone. Shooting out, I'm gonna actually have it make a strength save. The other one, you watch its legs pull up, though it's like this long mouth is still attached to you, and then it flies back and reaches on, and it is still alive. And you said 8 force damage?
Yes.
Okay.
She screams out in pain as everything bursts from her.
Okay. That was awesome. Anything else?
Terrible.
That's it. Unless I can bonus action disengage from this thing. I don't think I can, but
You cannot disengage from it. No. It is.
Nope.
It
Okay.
is attached to you. It is the mosquito's turn. All of you, who still have one attached, you take 5 more piercing damage. And this one, as you burst this light from you, and there's this swarm of little dragonborn and everything, it starts to lift you up off the ground, Arena, as it begins to start to try to fly away, though it only gets about 10 feet off the ground, as it's not super able to carry you well. The rest of you, they just seem to keep sucking the blood out of you. Lyra, it is your turn.
Oh, that's not a good idea. And I'm gonna grab my dagger and I'm gonna try to hit it behind me. Casting Green Flame Blade.
Nice.
So, first I gotta roll the hit. So, let's see. Hopefully it's not. Okay, it's pretty good. Okay, +6 to hit, so 22.
That will definitely hit.
Okay. So that's a D4 on the dagger. So 5 points of piercing damage. And then from the Green Flame Blade, that's a D8 of fire. So 5 fire damage. And then it is going to jump to another creature if there's another one within 5 feet of it, which I don't know if there is.
I think you were in the back with Voth. Why don't you roll a d20, and if you roll an 11 or higher, that he's that close to you.
18.
Okay. And real quick, can you tell me what those damages were again?
Oh yeah.
Was it
So
5
it
and
was
5 and 8?
It was 2 plus my bonus, which is 3. So 5 piercing damage, and then 5 fire. So that's 10 total.
Okay.
And then for the one that it jumps to,
Okay.
it's gonna take a D8 plus 5. So that's 10 fire
Okay.
to that one. And then I'm gonna add another 5 damage from my Radiant Soul onto the second target as well.
Okay. Awesome.
Hopefully that made sense. A lot
Yes.
of things to juggle.
It did. Anything else on your turn? As all this like radiant magic and flames start flying around, Lyra.
Nope. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just swipe blindly.
Okay, Ruse, it is your turn.
So the mosquito that's on my back, it's still hanging out.
It's still yeah. It's having a nice snack.
Sorry, if I could move a little closer to Arena, I'd
Yes.
like to do that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, frustrated, which is just kind of their MO. They are gonna bite down onto their hand, drawing blood. And then that blood is going to ignite in a second into flames, and now they have flame fists, which are going to deal an additional 1d4 damage.
Yeah.
Let's try this again. And I'm gonna try and punch the mosquito and not light my hair on fire. If I roll a 1, my hair is lit on fire and I will cry. Come on,
Alright.
come on. 14!
That hits it.
So hold on, I gotta roll a 1d4, which, can you do that on roll D&D Beyond without a dice
I
roller?
think
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I think you
Down
can.
here. Where'd does it go when it rolls? I'm gonna roll a real dice. That's frustrating. But it'll be 5 plus 6, 7, 8. 8 damage.
Okay.
And that is bludgeoning and fire damage.
I can math. That equals that. Okay. You slam into it. It's still hanging on. But you can smell it singeing. And it seems like all of these remaining mosquitoes are starting to hurt, and that's what you can see. And anything else on your turn?
No, but it does look like my hands hurt because they are on fire, and I do take damage because of it.
Okay. And Voth, it is your turn.
Seeing Arena start to go airborne, Voth is going to drop his jammed musket and pull out a pistol, which does less damage and has less range. About how far away is Arena from Voth?
From the front to the back, I would say about 30 feet.
Okay. Voth's going to close distance a little bit just so that he's within range. The range on a pistol is 30 feet.
Okay.
So, and then is going to take a shot.
Okay.
I'm just going to... I'll just use the sharpshooter shot here again. And that is going to be a 7 to hit.
That does not hit.
And he's going to do it again.
Okay.
For a 2.
And I feel like I don't have I forgot to pull up the chart again. But I feel like the 2 is probably going to jam as well.
Oh geez. All right. This brace of pistols that we talked about before game. How many pistols do I have now?
You still have 2 pistols.
That's right. Well, I have the pistol and the musket. Yeah. Okay. We'll see that. Those are Vault's firearms, and he's gonna. Oh, Chongo she's going up. And that is Vault's turn.
On Hearth's turn, Hearth is going to turn, firing one of his pistols at the one in front that misses the one that's on Ruse, and turning and kind of trying to fire it at Arena as she's in the air. That does hit.
There we go.
Oh wow! And does
hopefully 8... not at Arena.
No, not at Arena.
Okay.
That would not be good.
I never liked this crew, anyways. No, at the mosquito, and it takes 8 piercing damage, as the little musket ball goes flying through it. Arena, you are still in the air. Sen, it is your turn.
Okay. Arena looks to be in more danger than Ruse. So yeah, let's do some shit here. So okay, so what happens is Sen is standing there and he's like, all right, Ruse, duck down. And
okay.
He reaches up past Ruse and his arm goes out and it starts to morph and it becomes like this big hairy monstrosity. Claws go growing out of it. His shirt starts to rip a little bit.
Yes.
And his hand goes up and he shoots out a blast. And the blast is like a sickly pink color, but with like gray, like sort of like skulls that are screaming, twisting around it, and he casts Eldritch Blast.
Yes.
Dang.
Roll that attack.
And I rolled a 2.
No.
Sweet. Let me see what else did I get with Dread Hand. No, that's only with damage. So I could, yeah, I'm gonna just do that because that's the only thing I got for hitting that thing. But I'm going to use 2 Moxie die, and I can take 2 attacks to punch at this thing that's on Ruse's neck.
Okay.
So that's That's a 16.
That hits.
After your first hit, I would like to use my reaction to buff your bludgeoning damage and reduce the resistance of the mosquito on my neck by half. That's just, I got a sharp look,
Yeah.
I like that. And then the damage on that is 10.
And it so basically if it doesn't have resistance, it goes to it's vulnerable too. Okay. So this punch just goes straight through this creature. And Arena starts to fall. She's about 10 feet off the ground. But this one is just destroyed by that punch. As something about the flame on Ruse's hands joins in with what Sen's doing, and this mosquito is destroyed.
All right. Well, I got one more attack left. So what's the next closest?
Okay, there is one still on Ruse.
Oh, that was the one that was punching. The one that was on Ruse.
Oh, my mistake.
Because the other thing was in the sky. I can't hit it. Yeah.
I thought that was still connected to the Eldritch Blast giant hand thing. There was a lot. There was a lot going on.
No. I just turned around and swung my big old.
So
furry
that one's
fist.
off.
Yep,
And then
I was ducking.
And then behind you, Voth moved closer. He still has one attached to him, and Lyra has one attached to her. She's a little bit farther. She's probably about 15 feet from you. Voth is probably as he moves forward is about 5 feet from you.
Okay, then in that case, Sen is going to run over to the one behind Voth and just say, "Die." That is 15.
That hits. I'm really glad you didn't miss after doing that.
And that's going to be 10 damage.
And that was on the one on Voth.
On Voth, yeah.
Okay. You slam into that. You hear some of the carapace breaking, though it is still up. Arena, it is your turn.
Alrighty. Well, in the air, not doing well. Arena is going to do the only thing that she really can do that seems to have been effective so far. And she's going to, concentrate a little bit more and scream a little and cast Sword Burst again.
Okay. It's a dex save. Or no,
Yep.
We established that they can't make that save because it's attached to you.
I mean, it's holding me. Try to move out of that.
Yep.
All right. Another 8 force damage.
Okay.
Does it let go?
As this force damage bursts from you, you feel its mouth kind of pull from your body, and it lets you go as it's pushed away, and you begin to fall. And why don't you roll an acrobatics check?
Okay. Oh, that wasn't great. Acrobatics. 12.
12. Okay, you are able to, not smoothly or anything, but you are able to land without hurting yourself. Back kind of on your feet. Anything else on your turn?
I have a bonus action. I'm going to just try to make sure I'm not directly next to any of the things.
Okay.
I don't want to be next to a mosquito.
Okay. On their turn, the one that just burst off of you, it seems to just start flying away. The ones that are still on Lyra and Voth, they continue sucking. You both take 8 damage.
Can I reaction? What's it called? Hellish Rebuke?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, it
And
needs to make a dex save of 16.
I feel like similarly, it's literally connected to your body. It doesn't make sense that it would be able to save from that for me.
All right. That's a lot of damage. That's 24 points of fire.
And this thing, as it's sucking its blood, you feel like this anger from your hellish rebuke as the fire like goes into its mouth and it just bursts into flames and is ash. And the only one left is on Voth. And Lyra, it is your turn.
Okay. So, all right, the only one is on Voth. So, wow, just really showing all the powers now, I guess. So I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast away. I guess we're at that level now. We can just do it. That's a 13 to hit.
That hits, and you have 2 blasts because you're level.
Oh, you're
6.
right. I do. And the second one is a 23 to hit.
Those both hit. Oh, would you get 2 blasts as a?
I would have gotten 2 blasts as well. But don't worry, I missed it.
We'll remember. And then the damage for both of those combined is 11 force damage.
And why don't you describe how you kill this last one?
Oh, right. So as I come here and I shoot forth these they're like shadowy tendrils. They almost shoot forth like harpoons, and they just both spear into this giant mosquito over Voth, and they just grab onto the parts of him, and then they just pull in opposite directions and just splatter the bug.
Amazing. Hearth stands up, and we are out of initiative, and says, "Good work, crew. Just like we've prepared for. Everyone's okay? Arena, you
I don't know. Are you okay? Did you shit yourself?
No. I provided covering fire as I have always done in all encounters.
You see these split ends? That's because of you.
I was absolutely not prepared to be flying today. Thank you. No one told me to expect that.
Also, you look like shit. How are you?
Ow.
Come here for a second. Let me fix that up.
I will give you all the opportunity to choose to make a short rest right now if you want to, or you can continue on without that.
Not that I need it or anything, but short rest would be beneficial for for our allies.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, let's take a little breather. And any conversation you want to have over this next hour, you can. And roll your hit dice and do all that stuff if you need them.
Yeah, Sin just looks at everybody and is just like,
no one of this.
And his arm is just this giant, like, Sasquatch arm, essentially.
You gotta walk around with that arm.
I'll be fine. Just give it a minute.
Prince, have we seen the sun before?
No.
Ooh.
Okay.
You want me to burn it with fire?
No.
We're certainly seeing
It's my
these bad
arm.
of you today.
So, as you're all taking this short rest, Hearth looks around at you all. Says, the captain had told me you all had unique skills. I didn't know it was like this. Wow, this is a lot to take in. And for those of you watching along, in the world of Avastria, we're in the time period that's called the time of echoes of divinity and arcana. The time period before that was called the time of lore, and in that time, it was said, and this is fairly common knowledge to all our players, but it was said that magic was so prevalent that anybody could do it. The way I like to explain it is like a 6-year-old could cast 5th level spells. It was everywhere. The gods walked among the earth. There were mortals who grew in arrogance and greed and wanted to overthrow the gods. There was a war, and in that war, magic was, for the most part in the world, destroyed. It is regrowing in different places in the world, but most people have not really experienced it outside of arcane relics that are left over from this time period. So your average person has never seen magic used. Outside of where these airships come from is a nation called Nairene, which is in the center of the world. They have a well of magic that is basically the essence of one of our gods, Leon Tell, the god of knowledge and understanding. Their magic is being reborn in that place, and so they have magic, and there's magic at the Faeforge Academy. So if you listen to that show, you've seen it's very high magic over there, but here most have not experienced magic, though all of these individuals have been uniquely touched by magic in some way or another. So Hearth is sitting there looking at you all, just kind of bewildered, in spite of his strange powers that he only kind of knows about. After an hour or so, and as you all have recovered, he says, should we carry on? Or head back? Or
Yes, of course. We have a mission to accomplish.
Well, just one more question, Sen. If we cut your arm off and sold it, how much do you think we'd get?
His arm is back to normal now, by the way.
Oh,
It only
okay.
lasts for like a minute. And he's like,
Yeah.
it's my arm. It might grow back. I have no idea, but let's
Okay.
not do that.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it's an idea.
Yeah,
Putting it out there.
as your arm like transforms back, like Voth gives like Sen like an approving like sort of like grasp on the shoulder, and is very like, you gotta, that's a powerful arm you have there, good secret, and then just keeps moving with it.
okay.
Sen looks not happy. Like, this is the worst thing ever.
I'll just pat Sen on the arm and say, "Don't worry. It looks like we're all just a bunch of freaks, anyways."
Speak for
Definitely
yourself.
one way to put it.
Beautiful. So as you all continue on, Fairbear, this is actually really
That's
important.
what I just saw.
This is a very important question.
I was about to drop into the chat. Yeah, the babies don't have stat blocks. They have no hit points and no armor class because they're always fine.
Yep. There are limits to
Yeah,
what I will
they
do
make-
as a TM.
Yeah, they make all their saves, and they are immune to all conditions.
Yep. They're Voth's swarm magic.
Yep,
Although what happens when we dispel them?
they're non-magical. They're non-magical.
Okay.
But some of the effects they create are magical. They can be dispelled.
So are you all going to continue in kind of the same order that you have been in? Or are there going to be
Yep.
changes made?
Sen
Voth
is going to hang out all the way in the back.
all the way to the back.
Do you not want to hang out with me anymore?
Sen did not mean to show off this ability.
You're feeling your feelings.
Got to feel the feelings.
Mhm.
All right, well,
If-
whoever is in between with me is listening to me talk about how I definitely could have killed all the mosquitoes if only Sen hadn't gotten in the way.
That's being told to Lyra and Voth, I believe.
Okay.
Yep. I'm just nodding along
Mhm.
very politely.
Did you see the
What-
way I shot with my bow and arrow? That
Oh,
was
yes.
Brilliant.
much cooler than his
Mhm.
fist.
Brilliant.
I
Yes,
mean,
very nice.
if only I had actually landed a
Yes.
lot more, I think. I definitely
Just
could have
good.
killed all of the mosquitoes. Every
Mhm,
single one of
absolutely.
them. Yeah, thank
course.
you. Thank you.
Absolutely, yes. Of course. Yep. Agreed. Absolutely.
Arena, are you still taking the
Oh, you're done talking. Oh, okay.
Unless anyone else volunteered to take the lead, Arena's gonna take the lead.
Okay. This time Hearth is walking right next to you. You can tell he's very clearly trying to put on this like leader front, but it's not very often that he is separate from Captain Dira, and so he usually gets to defer to people or to her. So after you've been so injured, he's like trying to be brave and looking very awkward doing it. Why don't you roll me one more survival check?
Let's go. Come on, dice. Oh, that was
I'm
good.
gonna-
That was good. Okay.
Never mind.
Guidances over and over again.
I mean, you can always. You said survival. It's a dirty 20.
Okay. you are able to kind of pick up this trail,
Sky, maybe not.
and you watch as these. You get closer to the center of this island. There is more and more what seem to be ruins of some sort. They're old. They're covered in this language that none of you recognize. The one thing that you do notice is on some of them, this language is very beautifully carved and etched into all the stone, and has remained over hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of years. But on top of some of them is carved in this like jagged 5-pointed star. It's very different. It's not artistic. It's not beautiful, but it is intentional. And each time you walk past that, all of you hear just a whisper. It's not anything you can audibly understand, but it's there.
I'm not the only one who hears that, right?
Sort of strange, like a tickle in your ear, like
Staticky,
allergies.
almost. It's kind of like when, Sen is talking sometimes and you just start to hear static.
I
Voth is
really
gonna-
thought that was just the blood loss from earlier.
Voth is going to tune his senses into this voice, see if he can make any language out on it.
I am going to say you can make a history check.
A history check. Very
I
well.
was gonna say, if this is a language, I
The
would like to
history
know
of
which one it is.
whispers. That's an 11.
You hear all these different noises that you can't really make out any. It doesn't sound like any language you've ever heard.
Got it.
Next low language I've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm unsurprised.
Really?
Continuing onward, unless you're staying and investigating these closer.
Nope. Sandra's trying to shout it out. I don't want to hear it. Nope.
Where did those
More
other
voices.
two bodies that we came across, where did they come from?
I mean, that's kind of the path that we're following.
Well, chances are they were from the Drazenry.
Mm-hmm.
Which
They're better
again-
off dead.
Which again, you would remember that is who you're following. This one lone ship that Hearth somehow intercepted a message about this ship being sent off somewhere.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do we forge ahead?
You absolutely should. The captain sent us on a mission.
Okay. You continue to follow this kind of loose trail, more and more ruins, until you get to what appears to be almost the center of this island. There is I don't know if you've ever been in like a desert rainstorm where it just starts like a torrential downpour just comes out of nowhere, and it's like almost a wall of water. That's what's surrounding this. You can see in, though it's very dark and very hard to see through. You can make out this. It's more of a shrine than a temple or anything. It's about there's one set of stairs going about maybe 10 or so feet up, and it's surrounded by 4 pillars. Though as far as details, you can't really make out much more.
How much? Because I have double sight.
It's not dark. It's not dark from like lack of light. It's dark from like water falling so heavily.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily a dark vision situation.
Got it.
I love ruins. And I'm gonna kind of like sort of run up a little faster. And could I use my archaeologist background with historical knowledge and like see if I can ascertain anything about its like original purpose, builders, etc.?
Yes. Why don't you roll a history check with advantage?
Okay. Here we go. Where's my history? The highest is 17, so plus 3, 20, dirty.
20. So you kind of, as you've picked up all of this, you've seen ruins similar to everything you've passed at dig sites that you've been at that are from the time of lore. You've seen people remove objects from these places, though one floating in the sky is a little different. What strikes you about this, as you kind of look through, are you stepping into the rain?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. So as you step into the rain, it's a warm rain. It's not cold. It's like a tropical rain.
Humid.
And you step in. The architecture style is the same, but this looks like it was built yesterday. It looks brand new. Each of the pillars is made out of this beautiful, beautiful, like white marble-like stone, and the marbling is this like deep navy blue with silver specks in between it. It's very, very rounded and natural-looking architecture. As you step closer, you look up, you see a female figure kneeling at the top of this sort of altar. Their skin it's almost like when you look closely, the water as it hits them, it ripples and is almost absorbed into them. They're hunched over, and you see shoulders kind of shrugging, almost as if crying.
I'm gonna stop there very suddenly. I was very excited, but now I'm a little concerned. And I'm gonna turn around and back away slowly. And I'll say to the group, this is not natural. Something very strange. It looks like, I was gonna say it's perfectly preserved, but like I don't think time has touched this place at all. There's something very odd up there.
Odd, like valuable? Monetarily?
No, like probably
right.
really dangerous. Looks like a woman, and she's crying, but it's something very strange about it. You can
Don't touch
see
it.
for
And if
yourself.
there's a portal, don't go through it.
I'm not touching anything.
Wise words from Sen. Wise words from Sen. Does it look like is it the crew, the rest of the crew that in Razi?
I don't think so. It reminds me of that note that you found off the dead bodies earlier with the woman.
That drawing?
Hearth
Wipe away Shira's tear.
Hearth starts to sing that same song again, his eyes glowing, almost in this weird catatonic look.
Is Hearth dreaming now?
In the way he does, yes.
Voth is going to sit Hearth down so he doesn't accidentally hurt himself while he's in his trance.
Okay.
No.
Sometimes
Sen
his
will
trances
come
go
up to
on for a minute,
Hearth
so.
and take him in, like a little bit of a hug.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I got him. Don't worry. Don't worry at all.
Okay.
And
Sen is doing his thing.
Okay. Why don't you describe what... I don't remember specifically how that works from a mechanics standpoint.
I mean, mechanically, it's whatever we make it up to be, because Sen is a Danthier, and he eats dreams.
Okay. I'm going to say that you have to experience the dreams.
Okay.
Before you eat them. So as you do that, what would it look like as you kind of join in this experience with Hearth?
So I'd imagine it'd be like Sen is walking in the dream, but like everything Sen is like touching, or there's like an aura around him that is sort of corrupting it. And anything that is nice or has a bright light, it is becoming shadow and darkness, and just the aura of terrible kind of coming out from Sen. And Sen's not in control of it necessarily. It just is the essence that comes off of him.
Okay. So as you absorb this, you see that this song that Hearth is singing is almost playing in this dream ethereally. As you enter into the dream, around you, you see this island or this piece of land that's built very similarly to what you are. You see this story happening in front of your eyes. You see this figure being almost praised, though everyone's eyes are sad. Her shoulders are hunched, and she looks out. Different individuals are bringing her hugs, bringing her shells, almost like offerings. And she walks up onto the same altar that you see in front of you, as this song continues to play about this woman sacrificing herself to prevent a great evil. And you watch as the people all turn and back away. The line continues over and over again. Wipe away Shira's tear, don't take her sorrow, leave it here. Keeps playing. This island rises out of the ground. But in front of her is this individual, this very, very handsome looking, long, blonde hair, but dark rings under his eyes, looking at her, glaring, and you see her hold up this little what's the azure colored diamond that's in the shape of a tear, and she holds it up, and you watch on his face as this same jagged star appears, and he's pushed away off somewhere else. And as you absorb all that, you and Hearth awaken, as it were.
Welcome back. You two have a nice nap? Trance nap? I don't know.
Sen was feeding.
I mean...
What?
I thought we all knew.
Yeah, but it's like how we don't talk about why your siblings are just like in the weirdest spots all the time. It just kind of is one of those things. Like, where are they right now? Why don't we talk about that?
As you say that, like one of them like crawls out of my collar. I'm like, why don't we talk about that? And is it weird for you?
Sometimes when I go to put my shoes on and like I have to check for children.
Yeah, you should always check your shoes. Absolutely.
This is why you just leave food around.
Your clothes.
And
This
go to
is
the
why-
food first instead of your shoes.
This is why you don't wear shoes.
Yeah,
Vaughn, like,
If you have hooves, you don't wear shoes.
Vaughn puts
either.
it in is like, that's a good point. Very good point.
Hearth, are you okay?
What? Of course I'm okay. What do you mean? Am I okay? Why wouldn't I be okay?
Come on. Don't worry about it.
In
It's
my
fine.
headcanon, Sen feeds off Hearth on the regular.
Oh, absolutely.
And Hearth,
That's why-
everybody knows except for Hearth.
This is why Sin is always like, we have to keep Hearth safe all the time.
That's why Sen's so protective of Hearth. He's like, this is my main man right here. This is my-
Wow.
All the dreams.
wow.
Just dips in the middle of the day for a snack.
I'm going to add one thing to that dream, Sen.
Please.
You feel emotionally this deep sadness. It's not yours, but you still feel it. And that remains with you as you come out of it.
Now, if that you said there's a woman in there, she's crying, we should probably comfort her, shouldn't we?
Well, it seems like a little more supernatural. It
Well,
reminds
maybe-
me of that note that you found earlier, and the temple seems like it's possibly frozen in time or something like that. I don't think that it's worn the natural way.
Sen just tells them everything he saw. Just like, I just know this is what happens.
Huh.
If the first line of the song is to wipe away Shira's tear, you should probably go do that.
Yeah, one of you can go do that. No.
Voth looks at Arena.
What does it mean about not taking her sorrow, though?
Did you tell us about the giant crystal, Sen?
Yes. Everything that was he saw, he just shares.
Voth's like, Ruse should probably wait out here.
Seems like it.
That's
I
probably
could supervise
It's a good idea.
the crystal removing, or the tear wiping is what I want to
No.
supervise.
no crystals. Not for you. Not this time.
Probably need to keep the crystal there, right? Yes.
Yeah, it feels like a bad idea to remove it.
Yeah.
Voth as a master parent of 27 children, looks around for the highest structure in this ancient ruin.
The 4 pillars are the highest. They're so the way it is in the center of this is maybe a 10 by 10 foot platform with stairs leading up to it. These pillars that are not actually on the platform, they're surrounding it and surrounding where the stairs are. Each one is about 20 feet apart from the other pillar in a square. They reach up. They're about 20 feet tall, so they're 10 feet above this platform.
Do they look particularly difficult to climb?
They're very smooth and very wet.
Voth looks right at Ruse like there's no way you can climb those.
For once you're right.
Do we need to climb them?
You can't climb them as fast as I can.
Wait.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, I could try.
No, you should just give up now. You're a terrible climber. Everyone knows
While they're talking, Arena's gonna sneak up to try to go to the woman.
that. Voth and Arena are on the same page.
Okay.
I got you.
Why don't you roll a stealth check?
Okay.
This is a climb upwards to this thing, right?
There's stairs up to the altar where the woman is. The 4 pillars, what you'd have to climb to get on top of.
Where's my
Okay,
mouse?
then in that case, Sen is just going to use spider climb and just start like walking, and then just starts walking just directly up.
That's
Okay.
a 21 stealth.
Okay. So I'm gonna do Arena's first, and then I'm going to do Sen's. So Arena, as you step forward, and kind of sneak in, you said your passive was like 13, Ruse?
12.
Perfect. Lovely. You're very entrenched in this conversation and competition of climbing. Arena, you approach, as you step on to the first stair. You're the first one who would be able to see this as you've gotten close. You step onto it, and all of a sudden the rain stops around you. You've got like maybe 6 inches between you and the rain. Each step you go up, unless you want to stop me, stays that way. As you approach this woman whose face is facing this altar, this table, the rain, you see this rain being absorbed into her blue-green skin. You see like lightning almost coursing through her body. You see the shoulders shrugging. Do you continue up the stairs?
Yeah.
Okay. As you get to the stairs, she turns to you. In the center of her chest is this gaping hole in the shape of a tear. Sen, simultaneously as you're walking up, and she and Arena puts her foot on the top platform, and this individual turns. Lightning strikes at the top of each of these 4 pillars, and these strange storm creatures appear. And we're going to have to find out what happens next time on Winds and Whispers.
Oh no!
Oh, no, indeed.
Master of the cliffhanger.
That's why we DM.
That was amazing.
It really is.
Awesome. Well, let me first say to you 5, thank you so much. this was a blast of an episode. To y'all in chat hanging out, I hope you have a fun. I hope you have a fun. That's it.
Have
That's
fun.
just
Yeah,
have
we
fun.
have a fun.
You're allowed
Let's
to have
Just
two.
one though.
Let's all
not
go
more.
have a fun.
No,
Just
Let's
one
all go
fun.
have a fun, everyone.
what the orator in me was obviously trying to communicate. You all just don't have the artistry to understand what that meant. Is
I heard you. You said have a fun. That was deep, Steven. That got me right here.
Yeah, no, I'm a deep person. I
whole
hope
fun.
that y'all had a great time. Why don't the 5 of you introduce yourselves one more time? We're going to go around the opposite way this time, starting with Prince.
Hey everyone, I am Prince. Real name Amir Hamza. I'm also known as Dimples and Dice on Twitch, Twitter, all that jazz. I do streaming stuff over on my own channel, which I'll probably be live later on tonight. And then I do TTRPG games where I run a Vampire the Masquerade game over on Rolling These 20s and playing D&D on Wednesday nights. This weekend, just a quick thingy, I will be running a game for the Greater Restoration crew, or Greater Restoration. We'll be raising money for a Trevor project. This will be the 24th or 25th, I'm sorry, Sunday. And at 3 p.m., I'll be doing a Vampire Masquerade one shot. So if you want to stop by, donate, or just hang out and signal boosts, I'd highly appreciate it.
Awesome. Ian.
Hey everyone, my name is Ian Gould. You can follow me on Twitter at IanGGould. I am a D&D writer, editor, layouter, and also DM. Next event I'm DMing is going to be May Days. It is a 10-day online charity convention. Everything's up on tabletop.events. We're going to be raising money for Second Harvest in Eastern Tennessee and also homeless shelters throughout the Illinois Valley. I'm going to be running some Candlekeep adventures. So go ahead and follow me on Twitter. You can see where I'm running them, and I'll hang out and play some games.
Awesome. B.
Yeah, hello. I am B Zelda, your non-binary busy bee. You can find me on Twitter is at B_Zelda. I am a podcaster. I'm a member of the Broadswords, a 5e D&D actual play podcast. I am also a rather busy TTRPG streamer. Tomorrow I will be streaming Cape and Blade, where I am joined by my octopus companion, and me and my aquatic powers do our best to save the world. And then later that day, I will be, I think I'm playing Altered Carbon, which is like a really intense game, and I play a detective, and let me just say I'm not kind. I'm not kind. Do you think Ruse is mean? Nero Wolf is 10 times more mean.
Beautiful.
Right? And then after that on Saturday, I'm going to be playing Tachyon Squad something. I don't know. It's a brand new game. All I know is I bought these goggles, and I'm very excited to wear them because they are everything to me. So give me a follow and then get some updates on these goggles. Thanks.
Awesome. Danny.
Hello, I'm Danny. You can find me on Twitter at Danny Yogani. And I'm a maker of dice bags and stickers and all the fun things. So you can find me on Etsy at Hoop and Loom. And
And Eris.
Hello, I'm Eris Savad. I also make dice bags, but not pocket ones like Danny, because that's too complicated for me. You can find me on Twitter at Stitched by Eris. You can find the things that I make at erissavad.com.
That's an Eris specialty. My bag from Danny somewhere else. But both
Too
are
chunky.
both are amazing. That's true.
I got a Danny bag and I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I am Steven. I'm your dungeon master. You can find me on Twitter at @the_baddm. I will be here every Thursday with these wonderful humans telling this sky pirate story. You can also find me DMing the Faeforge Academy, which is the main story for this channel. It's a podcast, so anywhere you find your podcasts, go to faeforgeacademy.com, and you can find that if you want to hear more of how I DM. And Ian is in that show with me. B has showed up for a little bit. Lots of fun to be had there. And then I also sometimes I stream editing if you are interested in how podcasts are made. I do that, and I do other stuff too. So with that, again, thank you to this wonderful, wonderful cast. That was so fun. I hope you had as
great
much
game.
fun as I did, because that was
a blast. I
that
had
was a great
time.
way to start. That was a great way to start my day. We are gonna go raid our friends over at Geekly Inc. They are playing some more D&D. Some great people there. They have actually a 24-hour charity stream for the Trevor Project. I think it's this weekend. And Tim, who runs a lot of their stuff over there, has also been on our podcast. A great friend of the show. So say hi to them for us, and we just really, really appreciate y'all being here. So we love you all, and we will see you next week here on Winds and Whispers. Bye. Okay, raid is going. And
We
I'm
done raided.